Hello, everybody, and welcome back for our post-series discussion, or rather post-game one discussion. Still best of three series going ahead of us here, but FlyQuest find themselves up 1-0 in a very comfortable spot right now after a very strong performance. But props to Wildcard Aces, Jolly. They kept in that fight till the very end. They're going for those cross-map plays, but hey, when you give FlyQuest an inch, they'll take a mile.
Yeah, that's the unfortunate side of things for Wildcard Aces. Of course, they do have another game to kind of recover, and still, you're right, Kangas. Every opportunity that they had, maybe to find a pick towards the end of the game, maybe FlyQuest stepping out of line, they're at least going to force some repercussions on that, but we knew that it was going to be an uphill battle for this team from the very start.
And Cubby, going back to the 1 point you had made in the game, Spyrex's roam timers on the Akali, anytime they saw a window where they can get something done on the map, even if Wildcard Aces, it seemed like they were finding a play, boom, FlyQuest are able to answer it. And that's what this team is starting to look like towards the end of the spring split. We saw FlyQuest really coming together as a team and finding these windows to punish opponents.
Yeah, I do want to credit, I know specifically that's the bot lane play you're talking about. That roam was opened up by Yuji. And Yuji, you know, for people not familiar, this is also his first split playing competitively for Academy. He was at Bethany Esports, or Bethany College, I should say, in 2021. He is the only professional player from Mongolia. And from Mongolia, he hit Challenger on the EU server, Challenger on the Ionian Super server in China, all with over 100 ping. He was rank 1. I think he was just dethroned at rank 1 by Will yesterday on the main server. This guy is a freak solo queue talent. And the more good team plays we see out of Yuji, the more excited we get about this player moving forward, because we know the hands and the mechanics that he has. But hey, that's an example of him playing the hack room, having some nice moments where he's at the right place at the right time, making the right play. Those are the strides we really want to see out of Yuji in his gameplay, and some good looks for him in that one.
Exactly. Yuji's a player that is cracked, everybody. We've seen some incredible plays from him throughout the Academy season, and now we get to see as he's getting more comfortable with the team, as Diamond and him are gelling more with their shot calling, things are looking positive for FlyQuest Academy. We still have one, maybe two more games ahead of us in this best of three, but in order to give everybody watching on twitch.tv/LCS a little more insight into these players, and also to put my casters to the test, we're going to play a little game show here while we're waiting for pick and ban for game number 2 to load. And this is one that we like to affectionately call Tic-tac-trivia. Standard rules, right? You know, tic-tac-toe, you got circles and X's, but there's a slight twist here. In order to get your circle or your X on the board, first, you have to answer a trivia question about the player who will be on that corresponding segment of the board. So, Jolly, you have not played this before, correct? Cubby's done it like once or twice, and he's got a 0% win rate. But this is your first time.
All right.
Not zero.
So I just want you to be aware that there's a high pressure on you right now, because we can't let Cubby win these. So let's take a look at the board. I'm going to pull it up right here. Tic-tac-trivia. Jolly, you can go first. Looking at this board, you can pick any player that you want to start with, and I have a trivia question for them. Who are you going to start with?
I'm gonna start. I'm gonna do a quarter play. I'm gonna start with Pocus here.
Ooh, you want to go Pocus?
Yeah.
Okay, most people go right
I didn't
for the
game
middle.
plan for this. I only have one draft strategy in mind. This is not the one.
All right. For Pocus, this is actually a fun one. Jolly, this is a multiple choice. So you're going to be able to choose between a couple of different answers. Now, Pocus is one of the most experienced players coming in from the amateur teams. He's played for many amateur orgs since he entered the scene back in 2016. How many amateur teams has Pocus played for over 1 month? Between tournaments, they'll only be with one roster for about a month. Is it A, 1 to 5 teams, B, 6 to 10 teams, C, 11 to 15 teams, or D, 16 plus?
You know, I don't think it's that high.
For over 1 month?
For at least a month. For at least a month.
I
gotta go with C on this one.
You're going to go C, 11 to 15 unique amateur teams that he has been on throughout his career. That is correct, actually. Ding, ding, ding. C is the correct answer here, as we'll take a look at the board here.
The amateur expert.
I know. Look at this. Look at this.
Oh, my goodness. I was going to guess 6 to 10. I added in my notes.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Also,
Let's go Jolly.
This is a bonus round. So some of these you can answer twice. If you get both correct, then you get to go again. So that means you can maybe just shut out Cubby right now.
What?
Can you name
The quarter
5
strategy.
of the teams
Oh,
that he has played on? 5 of the 13, which was the number, by the way.
It's a lot of teams. I was gonna say like 12.
It's a lot.
I was thinking like around 12 is kind of what I was gonna guess on. 5 to actually name 5 of them.
If you can name 5 of them, then you get to go a second round in a row. Do you think you can do it? You can also bow out. You don't have to go for it.
You know, I don't think I've got 5.
All right. That is fine.
I do.
All right,
this isn't
let's
going to
see.
count.
Yeah,
well, you're going to go next anyway.
Yeah,
but
okay,
I
this
just
doesn't
want to hear his
count.
answer though. Yeah.
I can't go for the steal, but some notable ones that I've written down, it would be Mirage, Life Support, Real Throwback, Captain Shrimp,
Life Support.
Revival, more recently, AoE Randoms, also known as Just Randoms. And then there was also a Supernova stint in there, which is just the safest guess you're going to guess amateur teams. And I believe Polaris even too.
You can just throw in Supernova for pretty much anybody.
Yeah, pretty much.
and they'll
Pretty much most of these players, yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, no, those are all correct answers, Cubby. But it doesn't matter because you didn't have an opportunity to steal anyway. But
Jolly
you are
Jolly
up next.
Fivehead. She is
Jolly
Gigabrain over here.
Fivehead. Jolly already got one. So let's take a look at the board again here. Cubby, you're up next. Which player do you want to go for?
Give me Toasty. I'll take the 16-year-old prodigy. By the way, Toasty.
Toasty.
We didn't talk about this. He was top 700 in Valorant too. Like, what a gamer. He's been playing League since 7 and that rank in Valorant? Are you kidding me?
It's actually crazy.
I can't even click ahead.
Crazy. All right, so for Toasty, the 16-year-old player here, in his rookie split, competing in a Riot-sanctioned event, Toasty has played 8 unique champions. Who is his most played champion, Cubby?
It was Syndra. It was 3-2 going into that game. It's now 3-3. Yeah.
All right.
That's easy.
Shame on me for giving Cubby that one.
Yeah, that one's easy.
I need to do a better job of actually making the middle one tough. But let's try and get through these quick because we're getting ready for pick and ban. Jolly, who are you taking next?
You know what? Let's do Yuji.
Yuji.
I like it.
For Yuji, before his rookie split in Academy on FlyQuest, Yuji spent 2 months playing for a top 4 collegiate team in Bethany Lutheran College.
How
As
good
Cubby
you listening,
already
I
Jolly?
was gonna say that's easy. I got that one.
Oddly, he did not play jungle in an official tournament for the team. Which other 2 positions did he play during his collegiate stint?
Okay, Yuji was Hold on. 2 positions. All right.
It was Bethany. We can mention that.
Yes, it was.
earlier,
I thought that was.
Yeah.
I thought that was the answer. I was like, sweet, excellent.
But which 2 roles did he play other than jungle? Which
Okay.
2 roles did he actually play?
I'm gonna call bottom lane both support and ADC.
You think support
Good
and
guess.
AD carry? That is incorrect. Cubby, you have an opportunity to steal now. Do you think you know it?
It's one of the 2. It was support and mid.
Ah,
Support and mid.
Yeah.
Let's take a look. Let's take a look at the board here for good old Cubby.
Had to sub for Bradley, you know?
He did have to sub in for
Yeah.
Bradley.
those are some big shoes to fill.
Wow. Cubby,
Yeah,
you're up next,
yeah.
too. You have a chance to actually complete one for the first time. Do you have one for Tomo, real quick?
I mean, I'm just going to
Well-
guess Tomo, because I know that we are running in the champs like real
Entering his
soon.
junior year in Academy with his first split being summer of 2020, how many splits has Tomo finished first place in the regular season?
2. It was 2020 C9 and then
Ding, 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 ding,
22
ding.
FlyQuest, yeah.
Absolutely,
Or
let's
21
go.
Summer FlyQuest,
We
yeah.
finally had somebody win a round. That's the first time we've actually gotten 3 in
gave
a
it
row.
to
So
him. Yeah,
congratulations, Cubby.
Hey, you know what?
I
The
meant to
UG one was
lose.
tough. You had some good guess. I respect the bot lane guess. Yeah,
She was close.
That was good stuff, Jolly.
Jolly was close, but we are ready for pick and ban. So that means I'm going to
Pocus
pass it
question was
back
hard.
over to Jolly and Cubby to get us into game number 2.
I feel like you got the hardest question there, Jolly.
Yeah.
The Pocus one, you nailed. That was different.
Yeah,
Or difficult,
That
yeah.
one certainly, yeah. And if I had to give a number, I thought it would be 12. So I was really close on that one. It ended up being 13. I mean, a lot of people don't even know there's that many amateur teams, right? There's a lot of teams that weren't around for a long time, haven't been around for a long time now, and so. I feel all right about that one. Kind of, through the rest of the round. But hey, you're welcome. You got your first win on Tic-tac-trivia, and I'll credit myself a little bit for you.
Yeah, Rafa and Mad Magical, they've been dousing me all split. It's been tough over here, but hey, Jolly, I appreciate it. Thanks for being a good teammate, and see if we can get into the second game, Jolly, because we have to start talking about game 2. It's going to be same sides for each teams, and Wildcard Aces in the first game already get rid of some of the things that gave them trouble in that Lucian ban.
Yeah, that's That's not a big
I think
surprise
it's
right
reasonable.
there. It is so reasonable, right? And FlyQuest Academy's still staying on the blue side, like you were saying. So they've got that first pick. That means Wildcard Aces has the opportunity to maybe get some counter picks in here. We'll have to see how they decide to do that. We saw that earlier on, their first 2 picks. It was the FLYA and it was the Syndra, I believe, that Wildcard Aces locked in. We know that that's Toasty's number 1, right, in that Syndra lock-in. But like I said, I'll say it a third time here. I want to see a little bit more sustainability, a little bit more survivability coming out of Wildcard Aces if they do actually want to play some of these late game carry champions that need some time to build up.
And we'll, something that has been climbing up in the meta, it is that Kai'Sa. With all the marksman changes, you can play her there, you can play her mid. We've seen the AP poke builds, we've seen the old school AD build where, you know, you get that serrated dirt, get the early Q evolve, and try and get in the back line. So a lot of flexibility actually being first picked on blue. And Jolly, this will open up Wildcard if they want to go with something like the Jarvan and the Syndra again, that it would be an option that we wouldn't be surprised to see out of this squad.
Yeah, that's definitely a good one, especially, you know, with so much of the AP also being a part of this kit. I think that was something actually you guys were talking about, you and Kang is talking about, you know, the decision-making between AP Kai'Sa, AD Kai'Sa, right? That kind of ability to sit back and say, all right, I'm popping off W's at you. You can either try to make a play off of it, you can try to dodge all of them, or you just allow me to get that 2-second cooldown reset. And it's actually not going to, it really is. It's absolutely disgusting, especially considering a lot of the times you get hit by that Void Seeker and you don't even see it coming at you from the other frame, right? It's a whole frame down. However, on the Diana, that's going to be a lock, and it wasn't the Cinder for Wildcard Aces, it's actually the Nautilus, and that is kind of the sustainability, the survivability that I wanted to see. I like that pickup by Wildcard Aces to start things out.
Now, part of the Nautilus pick is also a deny from the Kai'Sa Nautilus lane that is very powerful. But the Diana, I feel like I have to highlight this. Yuji has only played it once already this split, but Yuji, we talked about his solo queue prowess as a player. He specializes in assassins. His Kiana has been fantastic on the Academy stage. He's known for Zed and solo queue. Diana fits that bill. And I'm curious to see how FlyQuest builds around this Diana, because usually you want AD solo laners. And if we look at Wildcard Aces, they've actually denied one of the better AD solo lane pairings already in that Tryndamere.
Yep. Yeah, we like to see it. And that's the Gragas is the lockout here. Yesterday, I think we ended up seeing the
Malphite,
the opposition of that. We saw the Malphite. It was going to be the lock. We saw the Gnar. Not nearly as good as somebody like the Gragas. It is kind of a boring lane. All right, it's a slow lane with the Gragas, but that is how it's going to pan out. I like that for Zamuda, and that kind of lines up too with the sustainability, right? You've got the Undying Rage. You have the opportunity to get to this late game stage and then really initiate on some of the fights, even from behind for Wildcard Aces, if something like what happened in game number 1, where FlyQuest Academy gets the ball rolling pretty early on, occurs one more time. We'll have to see how Wildcard Aces decides to round out their composition here. They still have yet to lock in that ADC, and the hover is going to be right now for Jeremy on the Tristana. And I like to see it. You got some follow-up, but you also have that rocket jump, whether you want to initiate or whether you want to get back out of a fight that wasn't really available in the pockets of Wildcard Aces before, and it certainly is now.
And now for the side of Wildcard Aces, I think it's important. They have no magic damage yet. So they have to pick up some form of magic damage with this last pick. And Tristana can technically be flexed between mid and bot. I would love to see this Yasuo locked in for Spyrax. It's going to be the pick. So that Kai'Sa will be flexed to the bot lane, where we somewhat expected after seeing the Diana. And it's going to be Yasuo mid Jolly. FlyQuest throwing down. They want to take those engages and snowball this game quickly.
Spyrax is going to be one to do that too. We talked about, you know, his assassination potential, the kind of champions that he likes to play, and this is right up his alley. Not only that, but it's going to be pretty difficult as well for what is already lined up in the composition to avoid getting hit by that ultimate. They do have the survivability, sustainability. We get the Karthus lock in here for Wildcard Aces.
So we'll have to see if this Karthus actually goes mid or bot.
Yeah.
I think that Karthus makes sense because when you're playing against Dyna Yasuo, that's a team that has to jump into you. Even if Karthus goes down, he is still incredibly valuable at just sitting there, throwing out a couple Skittles and pressing R. And it's also something that combines well with Nautilus. If that dredge line lands, you can land a few Skittles, try and be really competitive with this lane, and the entirety of FlyQuest wants to go in. That is where Karthus feels really good. It will be now confirmed Karthus bot as we are past that trademark. And I was teasing that Wildcard Aces needed a sense of magic damage. I think this was actually an okay draft for them. I think they have a couple tools. They have Tryndamere potentially in that side lane. They have the Jarvan Rapid on that ganker trying to get this team ahead. And when you have Karthus plus side laners, that's tough for teams to deal with because at any time, if that Requiem is available, that gives you the advantage in the 1v1. It could be really hard to deal with Tryndamere as we get later and later into this game.
Absolutely. There's that last second survivability and also that last second takedown that's coming out of Wildcard Aces. So I like it too, Cubby. I really do. It's kind of spicy, right? It's breaking a little bit of the mold, the meta mold that we have come to know for the last couple of months, which has really been the trend for this patch. Yeah, I mean, honestly, this patch has been huge in saying, okay, everything we've been doing for the last couple of months, we're going to figure out a way to throw that out the window. And I think that always becomes an opportunity for a lot of these amateur or you know, high-level players that aren't quite in pro is to say, all right, we can create some of these new adaptations, I guess, and what can really pull off with this meta. So I like the Karthus bottom. I like the Nautilus paired with that, the takeaway, but also a really solid pickup for the composition that we have on the side of Wildcard Aces. And we'll have to see if FlyQuest Academy, if it's going to be as easy for them to get the ball rolling on this one, or maybe Wildcard pushes this one out to game number 3. Of course, that's what we all want to see at home, and that's, you know, for casting purposes. I don't want to see another 25-minute game, I'll tell you that much, Cubby.
See if Wildcard Aces can be a bit more competitive. I think that, you know, we've talked a bit about their win con, you know, having Tryndamere in the side lane. The Tristana can help, you know, disengage this huge engaged composition that FlyQuest could be throwing at them. On the side of FlyQuest, Diana Yasuo, it's a combo that you can play so fast. And I think the big part about Diana Yasuo is not only just syncing up, but also syncing up at the right times. Because the really powerful part about this duo is that if you get people that don't have flash available, you can snowball the game so quickly with how low cooldown ultimates are, how easy it is for you to engage with that Protobelt Dash R from Diana, just syncing that up with Yasuo for this one-shot combo. And FlyQuest, I think this has been a different look for them as a team. As I teased, we've been seeing a lot of scaling out of this team. I really like how they are able to trade sides, how they are able to stall out games and get to points where oftentimes Spyrax's most played mid laner, something like a Victor, gets more powerful than the enemy mid as the game goes on, along with some of their other positions. This has been an entirely different look for them in the play-in, and honestly, if they're able to pull this off too, something else that teams will have to be worried about throughout Proving Grounds.
And that's always something I think with this FlyQuest roster too, is just recognizing, okay, there's a deep champion pool, and especially with the disruption in the meta of saying, okay, we're going to ban out a ton of these ADCs. That's still kind of the classic way to start the game, because that's not as much focus as we're having as, you know, just being able to consistently get towards team fighting stages for the top and the mid lane carries that we're seeing here. And both of these I'm digging. And you know what I wanted at Wildcard Aces, they're giving to us. However, FlyQuest Academy, we know their prowess on the Rift, we know what they are capable of, and especially with a combination like that, like you were saying, Cubby, I mean, honestly, just having Diana in the jungle there to follow up, it really mirrors the speed, right, that Yuji likes to play with, as we saw in the Hecarim for game number 1, the ability to really kind of jump in early on if he wants to, but doesn't have to fully heavily commit to any plays like that in the early parts of the game if he would rather just kind of spend some time in the jungle there. However, that's definitely not the expectation for me when it comes to Yuji. It doesn't matter who he's playing. It doesn't matter what the rules for that champion might be. He's going to be getting some early ganks and some early moves, and it wouldn't surprise me if once again we're going to be navigating for both of these junglers down to the bottom side of the Rift for, I mean, the big early portion.
Now, I feel like we might be stalling a little bit. You know, people in Twitch chat maybe starting to say, "Caster, start the game." We do have a pause, so
I wish it was
gotta
up
wait
to us,
till all
man.
those. Yeah, I wish it was up to us too. We'd be heading forward, but fortunately, we'll try and get more info on why we have a pause at the moment. But until then, you're stuck with us for a little bit as we get the tease out. What we might like to see in this game too, I think that some of the good moments that we saw from Aces actually, yeah, you know, thinking of game 1, Jolly, it came from behind.
Yes.
When you have a 16-year-old mid, 17-year-old top, the entire top side of Wildcard Aces, this is their first time trying to qualify in the Proving Ground circuit. And when you know, you're down 10k gold, you're like able to actually find overload plays and get those to work, able to find a couple shutdowns, able to trade out some objective bounties. That was good play from Wildcard Aces. Unfortunately, it just happened too late into the game.
Right.
And I want to see this time around if, you know, they can try and get out to that good start, because when I look at the Diana, I see a full clear. And when I see a Jarvan, you know, that is something where you can go make plays. You have that really powerful ability to gank level 2, level 3. I want to see if Rapid can maybe do that. That is something that Rapid oftentimes would do throughout the Proving Grounds qualifiers, sack his jungle to make sure that he is just pulling off these crazy ganks to make sure his landers are set up for success. Maybe that's something that Wildcard Ace is trying this one.
I would love to see it. It would, fall true with his name, right? Having not even needing a full clear,
Gotta
like
play
you said with
fast.
Diana. Yeah, you got to play fast. You got to play quick. And I do like the fact that, it is a situation where when we're talking about FlyQuest Academy kind of, having been found out a couple of times throughout that matchup in game number 1, yes, it does sometimes require, actually most of the time, if you are able to find successful plays from behind, a lot of the times that is because there are some missteps from FlyQuest. But even considering that, with Wildcard still being able to capitalize on the few of those missteps that we did see, that's a good sign. However, with this team, they have more of an opportunity for that kind of counter ability, even if it does get to the later game stages. So the composition fits for that playstyle. If they decide to kind of stick with that more of a late game, a little bit slower than we might expect out of the composition for these guys, because there is some sustainability for them. And of course, yeah, we can see here UG having some hardware issues. Luckily, we're not experiencing, at least from my understanding, no like latency, no network errors, because those are the ones that really just kick you upside the head, Cubby.
Yeah, I think anyone watching twitch.tv/LCS here might have some, if you start talking about network and latency errors, that might be a sore topic.
Yeah.
But hey, fortunately, we have some reps working on it. We got wonderful refs, TOs, a huge crew behind us here throughout the academy season, also throughout Proving Grounds. Hopefully, we get that issue solved soon. We can get you back into the action, as I teased earlier. Until then, fortunately, you're stuck with us.
Yeah.
So at least, it does give us some more time, some more stage time to talk about these two teams, because ultimately, at the end of this best of 3, we will not be seeing one of these teams for the rest of Proving Grounds. Of course, This is a single elimination kind of play-in stage. If you are a fan of March Madness, some of the bracket madness that has been happening that actually just started today, it's like the games that March Madness played yesterday, where you get to see who slots into the bracket. Except if you do win, you actually get to eat that, green mushroom. You get that extra life. So it's a double elimination if you make it to the next stage.
Yeah. The additional, the one up. Yeah, exactly. So getting through, getting through the thick of it, right? Through the single elimination to ensure that you actually go through. And then you've got more of an opportunity to, try some new stuff out, to maybe not play 100%. If you're having a bad day, it's a little more accessible. This is one of those instances where, hey, if a player's having a bad day in a single elimination, your back's against the wall. You don't really get a choice to allow that to say, okay, hey, we have recoverability. That's just not an option on this one. And with Toasty having locked in a different champion as well, we definitely have maybe a situation where Toasty could potentially pop off here on the Tristana. I love to see that style change, because it's definitely, obviously, we were here for Tic-tac-trivia. That is something that Toasty is 100% known for. I mean, has played the crap out of the Syndra and has done an exceptional job. So certainly a style change for this player. But if you've seen Toasty for the last little bit, and if you've seen how long he's been playing this game, switching up his style is nothing new.
I will say Tristana is going to be a unique champ for Toasty. And hey, I think that's Toasty, as a young player, showing some of that flexibility. I mean, that's Tristana taking on 4. We teased that Wildcard Aces needed magic damage to round out their draft. Technically, Tristana is a flex. We have seen it mid in the past. And hey, with some of the marksman changes, we might be seeing a couple more marksmen pop back into that mid lane. I know we've already seen the AP Kaisa, technically a marksman of that poke build. I think Tristana is something that can sneak in and really punish a pick like that early. And also Lucian did see some buffs, one of the mid lane, or marksman we oftentimes see in the mid lane. So hey, who knows? Maybe Toasty is just ahead of the curve, as he usually is, as a youngster playing all these games.
We will have to see. Of course, I know you guys love to hear us blah, 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 but we are going to take a very short break to ensure that all of these technical difficulties are sorted out. When we come back, we will be heading right into game number 2 here between FlyQuest Academy and Wildcard Aces, so don't go anywhere.
Come in, welcome. This is In the Lab with your mad scientist, myself, Mad Magical, and what's that look for, huh? My qualifications? Oh, here's my degree, here's my license in mad sciencery. Anyways, where was I? Oh, right. I've been in the lab toiling away on the next new dark tech. And after consulting with some of my fellow academics, remember to always cite your sources, kiddos, and thank you to those that help. What if Support Syndra could be the next big thing? And with any good hypothesis, the proper equipment is required. First, Keystone. Most seem to think Summon Airy is the best option for additional poke in the laning phase. Electric execute as a viable secondary option for even more? Well, for Mythics, the choice is up to you. Any mage mythic can be argued for, and also games can change, varying on everyone. No two games will ever be the same. Except for your skills. Every game is the same. Qmax, Emax, done. But what am I but a mere gold support player? That's why I brought in some of our players in our Academy League to help reinforce my hypothesis and tell you why it is correct.
If it was meta, it'd be pretty cool because it's really creative, and at the same time really lame because it's a flex pick, exactly what League of Legends needs.
If it became meta, I mean, that's a lot of work to learn a mage champion like that. There's a lot of nuances in it. So I don't think I'd be too thrilled about it. Actually, I don't really like playing versus the champion to begin with when it's mid lane. It's kind of annoying, the stun range, so I'd rather just not play it.
She also provides reliable CC later and can realistically be flexed into 4 lanes, so she's really flexible.
Well, I know who I'll be keeping my eyes on in the future. And to the surprise of Breezy and the dismay of Joey, the experiments have already gone live in the Proving Grounds Circuit Open qualifiers. Not just 1, but 2 whole players have played it. This will help solidify my hypothesis yet.
Guys, hold on. It's Syndra support.
Flexibility, like Skytech had so aptly called, this offers yet another lane that Syndra can go into. And Breezy even said it himself. We've expanded the pool. It's not just 2 or 3, but maybe 4 or 5 roles that you can be flexed into now. So many different options, so many opportunities. But that's not all.
It makes sense. The Syndra does have the range advantage over the Lulu and the Aphelios here.
Skytech again with the big brain. Enchanters such as Lulu don't like her in their lane. And imagine the scars you can inflict on their hearts and souls when you lane up against them. But also recently, we've discovered that Syndra might have more than just 1 button. She might actually have more.
Yeet and Bellow as they try to be able to get some momentum going. Going over to Radiance here. Doesn't get the turret plating. Oh!
Q, then E, Q, then E. There's nothing they can do to stop you. You control the wave, you control the lane. Melee champs fear you, enchanters want to be you. You're in their mind. It's foolproof. But maybe our Academy players brave enough to try it will have better luck. Until next time, get out of my lab.
Okay, we're back. We're back, Cubby. And from my understanding, the kinks have been ironed out.
Oh,
I think, right?
okay. I didn't. I'm with you on this, Jolly. I didn't get this message. This is all you.
I heard we're going into game. All right,
I was just watching
I'm
the
back
lab
on
segment.
screen.
Yeah.
I was just watching Mad Magical do his crazy thing. I love those bits, to be honest. Actually, all of the bits that we get to see today. It's just kind of like a random mishmash of different content that's been created for primarily Academy, of course, as you are very familiar with here, Cubby. But you know, it's gonna be a good day. It started a little rough, okay? We've had a hiccup or 2, but I'd much rather get it done. Yeah, I'd much rather get it done, get it out of the way at the beginning of the day instead of having it pop up towards the end.
And hey, look at that. Speaking of popping up, we got game 2. Yuji hardware issues, they're all solved. He's ready to click those buttons. We're ready to hop into this one as we teased earlier. Getting back to the draft, Wildcard Aces, expect them to go for early plays and try and set up a split push with the Tryndamere and the Tristana, plus the Karthus supporting behind. Whereas FlyQuest looking to play this game really fast with the Diana Yasuo and Aces. Oh boy, this is a big 5-stack. We just getting the trinket down.
Let's get the trinket down. Oh, the poor sad face we see coming out of Jeremy. No big play coming through. At least a little bit of vision here. Hey, I like the spicy plays from Wildcard Aces, especially given the fact that this is match point right here for FlyQuest Academy, right? So that's sometimes a risky thing to do, is decide, okay, we're going to be moving in as a 5-man team. There's no guarantee here, but if we can make something happen, we're going to do it in the early parts.
Jolly, you want pointless word things?
Yeah, well, yes.
Word knowledge?
Yes, I love pointless things in general.
Observer, Leche, can you look at that red ward that we see on the blue buff of the blue side? No, blue side. Blue side. All right. This ward, it's actually outside of sweeper range if you turn the corner. That's why they place it by that wall. So you have to take a step back for the sweeper to spot it. You know,
look at that.
Some of the little things that even our amateur players are picking up.
It's also you know, a little cute little Pengu. If you couldn't see that,
I mean,
that's my information. And
I'm down for that too.
It's adorable. And it's just gonna be pretty standard start here. We can see that mirrors across the board. That blue side is in fact where UG is, and there are eyes on him thanks to that ward that was placed there by Wildcard Academy. Of course, it has not been swept here just yet. That is a bit early in this part of the game, and I am very excited about this bottom lane. Also to see if Rapid does, in fact, actually make an early appearance here. That is really something that I would like to see. We already have a lot of early game prowess coming out. Look at that. The flash forward by Toasty just needs one more auto, and it's not going to come through. The Ignite does fall, but the flash by Spyrax is going to ensure he doesn't go down.
And Spyrax, we'll see if he wants to stick around. So UG, after this blue buff, this will be level 3. And he could wrap to try and find Toasty. Of course, did burn flash to try and make that play. As Spyrax, he has that Doran shield. He did finish up that potion. And now Toasty, oh boy, see if Rapid can get here first.
Yuji's in the wings. This is what I was talking about. Yuji is not a player, no matter who he is on. He feels the need to get full clears. But Toasty has the rocket jump. Rapid was right there in the wings in case something came of it. And that's one of the reasons I really like this pickup by Toasty, is the fact that, hey, even if there is a gank, Toasty is the kind of person that will react immediately and say, no, I can fancy foot around this. I can ensure that I don't get taken down. And Rapid has made the decision instead now to move up towards the top side. Zamundo looking for the initiation here. Doesn't want to start taking these tower shots too early. It's going to be Rapid that does that. But it's the first blood, the flash of response, and he had no one on top of it. Zamundo is going to go down, but he'll at least take Philip with him.
Well, okay, Philip is going to lose that wave, so it's not all doomed. And honestly, for Rapid, I thought that was a good read. He saw the Diana across. He knows that he can go for that play. I think they were setting it up from level 1 with Zamundo, but the Ignite from Aatrox, from Philip, it makes sure that everything is thrown to the side as we get a second look. This is free for Rapid. He's already seen Diana go to the bot side. He knows this cannot be answered, but Philip connecting these first couple sweet spots, it slows down the play for Wildcard Aces, and it enables Philip to hit level 3, turn this one around. Really well played by the top laner of FlyQuest. Yes, he falls in the end, but hey, that's a 2-for-1 special in the 1v2, baby. Philip, he'll take those.
And the first blood, honestly, I would take those every single day. And it was really good positioning by Philip, right? We saw that Zamundo and Rapid were there. Like, when do we start this? We need to start this. We're under tower, but who is going to be taking the tower shots here? Because you don't have a lot of health at the early parts of the game for both Jarvan and Tryndamere. And without that Undying Rage, you got to be the one to say, okay, Rapid, you want to do this? You can be the one to step forward first. That was the case, and at least they got the consolation prize of taking Philip down with them.
All right, Jeremy, popping the flashy cleanse in the bot side. A little Pengu tip of the cap, too. Love to see it. As that kill going over to Philip, keep in mind, when we set up some of these win cons, Jolly, big part for Wildcard Aces, it's enabling the Karthus, the Tristana, to be able to be strong solo laners, push up, and have these Karthus ults in their back pocket. Now that Tryndamere, was at least able to pick up some experience because Philip missed those waves. I know it was a 2-for-1 for Philip, but I think Zamundo is still set up to be reasonably, okay in this top side, even despite Philip turning that around. And we'll see if Zamundo can make good use of this as, of course, this 17-year-old, someone that I'm actually pretty excited about, is someone that has been a new face in Proving Grounds. And hey, we'll see if Zamundo can really step up to the table and see if he can make a stamp, because he is going to have those Karthus ults in his back pocket.
And that is something that I just adore about the amateur scene in general. The amateur and the academy scene, because, for a lot of these players, too, they're picked up pretty early on by academy. They were in an amateur org or, under an amateur team, at least for a little bit of time. But these young players, these are players who just have these opportunities. Like we were talking about, age 7 is when Toasty started playing League of Legends in Season 2. This is prowess that we didn't really have when we were growing up. I don't know. I think I'm older than you, Cubby. I think this is a situation where, we had the parents that were like, video games. What are you going to do with video games? Like, what can you possibly do? And nowadays, kids can say, hey, look, I've got a stat sheet. I've got numbers. There's different opportunities. There's production. There's talent. There's playing, all kinds of things that are in the back pocket. Zamundo is going throughout the Undying Rage. That's it. You might as well. Toasty and Rapid are there, but I don't even know if it was necessary because Zamundo solo played that one.
And that's a part of that dive, right? It denied Philip the waves. Zamundo hit 6. They revisit. Love that play from Wildcard Aces, but now FlyQuest, they're trying to punch back.
Trying and succeeding. Jeremy is just going to get melted on. That one should be able to at least provide a little bit of damage post-death. But everybody else escapes from that rain. That means Pocus will at least stay alive. But that was 4 members on the bottom side. Big rotations already coming out of both teams.
Yeah, and honestly, I mean, it is the correct play from FlyQuest, but I actually like what Wildcard Aces have done early. It's a much better early game for them. Look at that gold. It's even. Already at this point of the game in the last one, we had FlyQuest really marching ahead. And not only are they staying even, but I think the gold's in the right spot. Zamudo getting ahead. Once Jeremy hits 6, they're going to be able to attack Philip over and over. And I think that is really how Wildcard Aces can try and set up this Tryndamere to take over the side lane.
Oh, yeah. Tryndamere is stellar right now. And I mean, obviously, having the Undying Rage is huge for the team fights later on, but when you have this side lane opportunity where he can also get solo picks, he can also just whack down these towers and put a lot of pressure onto the side lanes, it sets something up that's really sweet here for Wildcard Aces. And I got to agree with you, right? There's a lot of these plays where it's like, okay, the retaliation is kind of coming through from FlyQuest, but still, the initial plays themselves are coming out of the pockets of Wildcard Aces, and it was something that was a little bit lackluster, or was certainly lacking from that team in game number 1, and especially when the pressure is on, when your backs are against the wall as a team like this, it's always good to see improvement. Now, Tomo is in a very sticky situation. Rapid is on the backside. Pocus is going to flash forward, get the passive lockdown onto Tomo. Pocus can take the aggro for that one, and it's going to be a first pickup or the first kill for Jeremy here. Now, in response, we've got 3 members here on to Zamudo. It's going to be the ultimate coming down from Jeremy on the backside. Philip will be the answer here. Zamudo is going to be able to use that Undying Rage. He picks up the 1 diamond. You can't follow that up. And Wildcard Aces find another successful play.
And that's the power of this Tryndamere. When we said that FlyQuest, everyone, has to jump on top of the Karthus onto the Tryndamere, Zamudo just gets to press R, press Ghost. He's cool with that. As long as he's able to auto-attack, he can pump out the damage. And Zamudo, the sub for this roster, someone that is stepping in for Ben, someone that could not be here because of family obligations, he's stepping up big in this game too, Jolly.
Oh, it's huge. And not only that, but I mean, considering Philip is who we were, as I try to say that, it's going to end up being Diamond who gets locked down. Try to go in for a little bit of warding, and you got to anticipate that Pocus is not down in a lane. Nothing too big comes of it, but feeling really good if you were Wildcard Aces. But I was going to say, Philip, this is a player who in game number 1, it was, I think, 6-0-5, something like that before going down for the first time. And right now we're looking at him 2-3-0. And it has been a lot of these solo plays coming out of Zamudo where much more comfortable in this matchup compared to the Graves versus Jace that we saw in game number 1.
I also really want to credit Rapid, too. I think that first gank, even though it was a 2-for-1 in favor of Philip, he was still able to make sure that, that all the CS was denied. I think that it enabled Zamudo to set up the revisit that Wildcard Aces set up, and that's why Zamudo has this lead. It's from team play, and it's a really nice set play from them. And now look, this wave for Philip, it's going to start pushing out Rapid. We talked about how he loves to gank, set up his solos for success. He's here again to try and punish Philip, and Philip does not know that Rapid is here.
You gotta watch out. Philip does have a bit of an advantage. The flash forward is actually going to be disrupted right there. Rapid finds the Cataclysm, takes a tower shot or 2, and great aggro swap from the tower coming here out of Wildcard. Spyrax trying to make something happen on the bottom side. Toasty is gonna rocket jump forward. The following one on top of it in the ultimate to just add some spice. Yuji, can you make something happen? Not with the rocket jump reset. Wildcard Aces, my goodness, they come out the gates in this one running, Covey.
The current high schooler takes down the former collegiate player for Maryville in the 1v1, and that was Spyrax aggressing Toasty, turns it around, doesn't even have to burn his flash for that, Jolly, and that's huge for Aces. This 1.5k gold lead, it's exactly in the pockets of the people that they need. When you have Tryndamere Tristana set up for success, they're going to be able to push with impunity and have Requiem to back them up. And look out for Jeremy. He's about to get his ult back in the bot lane. And Zamudo, he's looking really aggressively on the Philip, who just had to burn the ultimate himself. Zamudo will be able to dive the next wave. And when you have Requiem in your back pocket too, that's where things get really scary for the side of FlyQuest.
And that's what's worked out. At least it worked out Previously, when Zumudo got dove on by those 3 members in response to that play at the bottom side, the Requiem came out. Zumudo says, excellent, I've got Undying Rage. Philip is my target here. That's who I'm going for. And then was able to stay alive on top of that. And so the survivability, the sustainability, it's coming through really well for Wildcard Aces. Toasty, they going in for another one here. Yuji's in the wing, so is Pocus. Out comes the ultimate, though, from Spyrax. Is going to be able to pick up the one. The Requiem on the other side probably won't deal enough damage to take down Spyrax, especially not when he has the refillable potions.
And just as we were setting up, Wildcard Ace is doing a good job with their win cons. FlyQuest, return to theirs. What is it about? It's about this Diana Yasuo combo. A beautiful hover from Yuji saves Spyrax from the Pocus roam. FlyQuest, they punch back.
Another initiation here. Out comes the Solar Flare, the int by Yuji. That should be at least 1 down for Pocus. The Cataclysm on the backside, though. Diamond has to flash away from this one. In comes Tomo, and a big pickup there by Tomo.
And this is something else that is good for FlyQuest. Their ability to group up, make plays. Keep in mind, this Tryndamere, no TP. Toasty, no TP. Jeremy, no ult. This is the window and the windows throughout the game that FlyQuest have to look to hit. They hit it there in the mid lane and find 3-4-1.
Not a single TP, in fact. Undying Rage should be
Meanwhile,
another pickup here onto Philip. You get the dash away, so Yuji cannot recover that play in the top side. And that is the 5th death cubby for Philip.
Gonna take a second look at this. Once again, Toasty, I mean, he does win the 1v1. This is one where if he's able to get that rocket jump and a couple more autos in, Spyrax goes down with the help of Requiem, but because Yuji's there, that gets turned around, and then because Tomo is able to leave this lane because he had shove, it's another positive play for FlyQuest, but have to go back to live because Diamond, he's getting hooked.
Getting hooked. The passive is applied here. He pops that W shield. Spyrax looking for an initiation. Rapid is going to flag and drag onto the backside as Diamond's still taking a lot of damage. The ultimate, though, a 3-man ultimate come out of Spyrax means not a single kill goes in favor. Wildcard Ace is a double for Spyrax and a pickup there for Yuji as well.
And Toasty, you know, he has flash, he has the buster shot up, but he wasn't able to get either off because of the CC lockdown from FlyQuest. That's what you're looking to do, trying to buster shot the Diana away on that engage. Not able to make it happen. FlyQuest, they set up the Diana Yasuo. They pick up the 3-for-0, get the Cloud Dragon on the back. Let's take a second look at this as Yuji, Spyrax. We said this is how FlyQuest wins the game, and they're executing it beautifully in this replay, Jolly.
Yeah, it's Yuji jumping in on this one, really setting something up for Spyrax, because Spyrax is able to step back, draw out the whirlwind, and that 3-man ultimate is really something to behold. So much damage is going to come out of this player, and the last thing that you want to do is feed some kills over to the mid laner. Of course, that saving grace is kind of coming from Zumudo, so once Wildcard Aces moves into the full late-stage team fight, they have a lot of opportunities to take down these big players on the side of FlyQuest. They need to try to transition that, though, pretty quickly.
Toasty might have gotten that first kill on Spyrax, but God, that empowered Q, knocking him up, not enabling him to get the bust shut off. I think that's Spyrax taking Toasty back to school a little bit there as they're able to punch back. FlyQuest now with a 1K gold lead. We're still really worried about the top side with Zumudo, and we do have to keep our eyes on Zumudo as, keep in mind, Jeremy, that Requiem, it's back up. We'll see if Zumudo wants to take another all-in. He's up 2 levels currently, has a wave crashing. And if he wants to go for the play, he has Karthus helping him out.
And there's Rapid on the backside. Of course, Yuji has eyes and is going to make the initiation on to that. The Moonfall comes out. Rapid uses the Cataclysm and then flashes out of that one. Philip has to use the ultimate of his own and flash away from that play. And the Requiem won't quite be enough to pick up the kill.
Really close there. Now, fortunately for Aces, they do pick up that turret, and that is first brick going down for the amateur squad. The gold lead, it's evened back up, and we'll see if they look for the Herald play. I think importantly, Zumudo still has that ultimate, has Ghost about to come up, and that could be enough for FlyQuest to back off and look elsewhere. Usually doesn't have access to that ult. That's the big tool they need to make sure this Yasuo can get in and get that upfront damage down.
Now it's kind of the point where Wildcard is able to transition here into a 5v5 fight. We can see that the vision has primarily been put down as aggressively as possible, coming out of FlyQuest, looking for some of these opportunities there. Tomo Trying to get a Void Seeker onto someone. Also just getting eyes on these members, as we can see Diamond moving up, trying to get some vision clear in response. Now the ping's coming out around that second Rift Herald from Wildcard Aces with the recognition of, okay, you probably got to be careful, Zamudo. Somebody else is on their way up to you. Toasty looking for a play on a Philip, but they did not realize that UG was in the wings waiting for that play to come through. What a bait by FlyQuest.
And, you know, going into this game, we said UG, he specializes in assassins. That is how he was able to hit rank 1 in NA, how he was able to hit Challenger on the Ionian Super Server, on EUS with a 100+ ping, and watching him pilot this Diana, be hovering at the right place at the right time. This has been really good game sense from someone that we know is an insane mechanical individual, but watching him apply that to his team, be in these spots, Jolly, this is something that, you know, we've been asking for from UG throughout the entire Academy split. The longer Academy has gone on, the more we've seen it from him, but it's really good seeing this improving grounds, especially with FlyQuest, as we mentioned earlier, playing this slightly different style as a team, playing this aggressive early comp. I think this is FlyQuest showing some good signs of growth against this amateur squad.
We'll see how they can hold up against this level 12 Zamudo, though. As we can see, he's just able to now go into the middle of the jungle. Diamond maybe looking for an opportunity here. It's going to be UG with a massive moonfall, though. Throw the solar flare on top of it. You got the sun and the moon both in play. FlyQuest using them both to their advantage. Pocus has to just run the heck away from this fight. Toasty on the backside, able to poke out some damage, do some kiting here. But you got to rocket jump away from this fight. He does just that. You can't give Philip another kill from a position where it seemed like he could barely even play the game. He has just evened his score out here, Cubby.
Well, you know what? It's Phillips Aatrox. This was his most played in Academy. He was 4-2 on the champ coming into today, and despite being put behind early, despite being almost doubled in CS, he stepped up with a big play there, able to even out that scoreline for himself despite being put behind early thanks to some good play from Zamudo, a good game plan from Wildcard Aces, and now it feels like all the good work that Aces did in the early game, FlyQuest has been able to turn it around in the mid game.
That means the gold lead is now in their favor. It's just a couple thousand, almost 3 is what they're looking at, but that is what it's going to take here. And we can see that Zamudo really hasn't been able to make as much of an impact as he would have liked by actually participating in a lot of these team fights. Whereas on the other side, Philip has, we just saw right there in the mid lane, made some moves to kind of recover from his downside position from the top lane. And he's been able to do just that. Of course, Zamudo, if we take a look at the creep score, there's a big reason that experience is heavily in his favor. Still 2 levels up, 187 to 105, almost doubling the creep on the other side of the field, and that also has to do with the fact that he's been able to kind of initiate and engage on the enemy jungle. We can see it one more time here. 3 members of Wildcard Academy try to put even more pressure onto the top side, so Zamudo can continuously put pressure on side lanes in general. Looking for something here. Zamudo goes in, takes all the aggro. The Requiem comes down, and it's going to be a shutdown in favor of Rapid.
I really like this from Wildcard Aces again. They know the objective's up, but they don't have the setup. They trade it to make a play cross-map, so instead of contesting and falling short, they're able to pick something up elsewhere. This is good play from the amateur squad, and the continued focus on Philip. We teased how this could be a game plan with a Tryndamere. Props to Wildcard Aces. They're playing their win con well.
Really are. Look at that. A nice Cataclysm onto Tomo, who's actually going to be able to navigate away from this one, no problem. As I say that, Rapid goes way too hard to hit the in rain. Papa Q says, Tomo, thank you very much for that pickup.
Oh, big part of that too. Tomo having the Nashers that gets you that early E-evolve, went in Viz. Rapid wasn't able to connect the last auto attack. Good attempt from Rapid. I love how, you know, the amateur player, I mean, their backs are up against the wall here, Joey. These guys are playing with nothing to lose, going for that play. No, it didn't work out. Have to respect it, though, from this young team. Once again, all 5 of these members, their first appearance in Proving Grounds. A lot of them, their first split even competing in this circuit. Like how they're playing without fear.
We do like to see that fearless play, and that's kind of been the case from minute 1. Going for, I mean, really aggressive ones, right? Recognizing, okay, we need to make the first move here on to FlyQuest Academy, especially given the fact that FQA is already sitting at match point right now. Of course, the recoverability for a team like FlyQuest is very, very strong, in particular considering UG has made some incredible plays. I mean, every single moonfall that we have seen out of this player has been insane. Now the pings coming through, as only 2 members of FlyQuest are on this. The Fog of War, we can see, is not revealed here, and so there are no eyes. There is finally, as we can see, the Oracle come through, but it's too little too late. The Baron gets taken down right after spawning. It's FlyQuest for all 5 members that find themselves the buff.
Oh, it's really unfortunate for the side of Wildcard Aces. And hey, props to FlyQuest. They saw Rapid go for that play. He goes down. Tiny Yasuo. That's another thing that Yasuo can do that's very powerful. And now FlyQuest, they're at least fishing around, toying with maybe finding an engage on Pocus here.
Definitely looking for something. It's going to be a nice little blast cone play right there to ensure that Diamond doesn't find the Zenith Blade and move on to Pocus. We see Zamudo trying to navigate up here. Diamond finds the Zenith. Oh, it's actually a little bit of a buffer right there. Rapid with the flag and drag the Zenith Blade to follow it up by Diamond, but no Solar Flare from Diamond means that they cannot follow that up any further. And oh no, the Fog of War really coming into play right here. It is in favor of FlyQuest. Tomo takes a lot of damage. The Requiem on the backside as well, almost enough to take him down. He's going to have to recall here soon.
And we can just see how scary this Trinimir is, especially with the Karthus and now Wildcard Aces. They see that play being attempted on the bot side. Pocus not quite able to connect that dredge line in the Phillip. I think that's a smart pop of the ultimate. No depth charge can connect either, not in range, and a counterpunch avoided. And now Zamudo, he's being collapsed upon by 4.
That's going to be another charge.
Look
that
at Tomo.
W to hit. It's Tomo just knocking these ones out. Of course, Zamudo is still pretty high up, has levels on everybody right now. It's also got the speed. Look at that play. Nice little skip, dodge, dive out of the way. That means that Phillip might be the target here as Wildcard are able to completely regroup. Zamudo, man, props to you for being able to get out of that one. No problem. No sweat on his brow.
He has to be the one that is going to be this big split pusher. It's a 3.5K gold deficit for Wildcard Aces, but Zamudo is the one that pretty much has all their gold, Jolly. And he really has to be the one to step up in this game. And you can see Aces at the moment. They're committed to Zamudo split pushing, and I think they're going to drop this inhibitor to make sure that Trinimir can continue to funnel himself, continue to get gold. And we'll see if FlyQuest push this any further. Will not be the call. It's going to be a trade for Aces with the inhibitor going down.
No teleports here definitely make it difficult for Zamudo to try to recover from those plays. We saw him navigate his way back to the rest of the team and then be able to pick up that bottom tower, get some more pressure down here. And side laning only gets you so far if the rest of your team can't hold off all 5 members infiltrating your base. And we saw it right there. Still about 3K gold, a little bit over in favor of FlyQuest Academy. They're feeling pretty good. And the recognition right now by FlyQuest to say, Zamudo's not here for the fight. We have the opportunity to go in is huge. Now he is on the wings of this one. He's going to be able to dodge over the wall. A nice big root onto Diamond right there. Usually goes into stasis. Zamudo trying to find the back line. Out comes the moonfall on the backside. Beautifully done. And it's enough to at least pick up 1 here for Wildcard. Zamudo will go down to the ignite. It's going to be Phillip who picks up that kill. Toasty, no! Not able to get the rocket jump he was looking for. Has to follow it up with the flash. Out comes the Requiem. Will it be enough to take down Phillip? Yes, it's going to be Jeremy with the burn that picks it up, but thanks to a big play by Toasty and the ultimate coming down to ensure that comes through.
And Aces, they won out on that fight, on that skirmish, and I think it's because Yuji and Spyrax, they weren't able to sync up in that fight. Spyrax, he was still getting out of base, getting back out on the map as we take a second look. Look at Yuji, he's proto-belting forward, he's going to eat the depth charge, but Spyrax, he is nowhere to be seen in the screen. He's still getting out of the Hextech gate. So when Yuji goes in, he has to go golden. When he pops his ult in the back half, Spyrax isn't able to follow up. And because that Yasuo-Diana combo doesn't connect, Aces, they're able to stall out the fight, make sure the Karthus ult hits. Trinimir gets a ton of damage down, and they actually won out.
They really did. Things that worked out in favor of them, especially that big play with Jeremy popping off the Requiem on the back end. I love to see things like that work out for Toasty. They are still kind of on the back foot here, though. We have to acknowledge that, Cubby, especially having that 3rd dragon now picked up by FlyQuest Academy while that replay was going on. They're sitting at Soul Point. Pocus, unfortunately, gets caught out here. It's going to be so much damage. The Solar Flare did come through, as well as the Killer Instinct from Tomo, so that's a couple of ultimates down. FlyQuest poising themselves to make another push into the base here of Wildcard Aces.
Really good find from Diamond. That's going to force Zamudo to retreat from the split push. And with supers funneling in mid, now they can group up as 4 top. Phillip did have to reset. Thought that Zamudo would still be pushing, but FlyQuest have a bit of a power play. I think because Phillip base, they won't push for anything else, but really good pick and a really good find from Diamond, who once again, he's being the most experienced member. on this team, someone that has more experience than all of Wildcard Aces combined, and someone that is always performing, the big leader on this FlyQuest Academy squad. Good to see him finding some really big picks in this game, Jolly.
Really big picks, and it's definitely necessary for this team,
Yeah.
right? We see also, if we take a look at what Zamudo has built now, he's got those Navori quick blades, so he should be pretty fast on being able to follow up on a lot of his own plays, as well as we can see. Of course, I'm a big Gale Force gamer. I know that you're familiar with my love for that item here, Cubby. So he's really trying to get himself into prime positions. He's doing incredibly well on the lane pressure, 276 already for his creep. That just goes to show that while there have been these attempts at getting some big 5v5 team fights set up by FlyQuest, it's still Zamudo who says, yeah, you can try, but I'm going to continuously pressure the side lanes. I'm gonna get at least whatever I can, the experience of the gold that my team needs to stay alive in this game. Is it enough is the question as this continues on, and as more kills get fed into Spyrax and Tomo. That's where the struggle comes through for Wildcard. Next initiation. Oh my god, Tomo able to pick that one up instantly. The killer instinct comes out. A lot of damage onto Rapid. He's going to be able to find the Cataclysm, jump over to the backside. Zamudo in the meantime does have not able to pick up the one even through the Undying Rage. Tomo going into stasis at the last moment, able to stay alive. Now Pocus is running away from the rest of the team. Not a single member of FlyQuest going down, and only 2 remaining from the bottom side on Wildcard Aces.
What a team fight from Tomo. That's a death cap now on the Karthus. Not going to be enough. Just going to be some extra gold for the first strike. And that's going to be second Baron for FlyQuest. A beautiful fight this time around, Jolly. Yuji, Spyrax, they were able to sync up. And when you pair that up with a huge play from Tomo, no chance for Wildcard Aces in that one.
It's a nice attempt here. So take a look at the replay for Zamudo, trying to pinch out onto the backside of this fight. It just does not come through. It was really well-timed abilities and good focus here onto Zamudo to ensure he wasn't able to get one and separate this whole fight through.
Yeah, also, shout out to Diamond. The 4-second Q cooldown, really helpful going up against the Tryndamere, just sitting next to Tomo, trying to get him out of that situation. That Crown of the Shattered Queen got a lot of mileage against the Tryndamere there. Really decreased the damage that Zamudo could do early. That's why the Kai'Sa was able to win. That's why it was such a convincing play for FlyQuest. Now, they're baroned up with a Hextech Soul available to them soon, but Diamond... Oh, Zamudo.
Zamudo takes a lot. Out comes that Moonfall once again. And Tosi is going to be the first one to go down. Rapid tries to get onto the backside here. Out comes the Undying Rage. Zamudo at least gets the one. And with the help of Rapid, that means Pocus has to flash away. A nice little split there on the fight. Rapid flag and dragging over the wall. Should be picked up here, no problem, by Philip. In the meantime, Jeremy gets taken down by Tomo, who is very easily able to just pop off a ton of damage. Killer instinct wherever he wants. And once again, FlyQuest Academy feeling very good about this fight.
That just might be the game. FlyQuest, we talked about the Diana Yasuo. You can play things so fast. Wildcard Aces step too far up, trying to contest that Hextech Dragon, and FlyQuest. This game, too, it was a back-and-forth bout. They were pushed around a bit by the Amateur squad, but I think they've done enough to come back, make sure they're moving into the double limb bracket of Proving Ground.
Pocus trying to just buy a little bit of time here, but that is going to be the second Nexus turret to go down. Toasty popping off some damage, just providing a little bit of extra space for the team. And Kitty and Rain, though, will pick up a double kill right there before the Nexus goes down in a pretty defiant manner. FlyQuest Academy send Wildcard Aces home.
And, for FlyQuest, I think one of the big things sticks out to me today, the fact that this is a different style that we saw them playing from Academy. The Diana Yasuo, I think we've only seen that once from them. That was earlier in the split. We're used to seeing, a lot of Victor, a lot of Vigar. We've seen Solari from Spyrax. We know that he can play these assassins, but we haven't seen them bring that to the stage. We've seen them mostly play for scaling. These were not scaling comps, Jolly. They had to hit the ground running, and Game 1, they did it very cleanly. Game 2, I really want to credit Wildcard Aces for the game plan they had, for getting Zamudo ahead. I thought that was really sound draft and plan from them, but it wasn't enough. And in the end, I think it was a different look from FlyQuest, and especially in that game 2. Tomo really stepped up on this new Kai'Sa build. He had a huge game, Jolly.
Oh, it was massive. Yeah, a huge game for sure. And even though it took some time, right, for that bottom lane to kind of get into motion, right, get the pedal to that metal, it didn't really matter because the way that the composition worked out is you've got the Diana, right, you've got movement in by the Diana and the Aatrox. Even though Aatrox was behind to start the game out, you just allow Kai'Sa to sit back, pop off those W's, deal out as much damage as possible, and then if needed, follow it up with the killer instinct. It was very, very clean, but you're absolutely right with Wildcard Aces. Aces. They started off the game really well. Big props to Zamudo for popping off, especially in some of those solo plays going up against that other opposing top laner, specifically considering that Philip in the last game was, I think I said it, 6-0-5. I mean, just played ridiculously well on the Graves. So I like to see Wildcard improving, especially after getting taken down in 25 minutes from game number 1, coming back and saying, all right, we're going to have a clear mind. We're going to recalibrate onto this one. We're going in with a new game plan. They executed it well, but it was stalled out in the mid game pretty heavily by FlyQuest Academy, and there's not a ton you can do to recover from that when you're focusing on side lane pressure as heavily as they were.
And I know we're saying goodbye to Wildcard Aces. I want to give this team a lot of credit. I know that talking, just looking at the team before, Zamudo's 17-year-old sub, they couldn't even get their top laner start today. Toasty, first split competing as someone that just turned 16. I think that for all these guys making it to Proving Grounds, that is exceeding expectations in the first place. I think that we saw a few reasons why we're kind of excited about, especially Zamudo and Toasty, along with some of the other players. I think Rapid had a really good game plan in game 2 as well. And I know that, from speaking with Toasty beforehand, the one thing that he really wanted people at home to walk away with is that we might be the B team of Wildcard, but we are not a B team. And to be fair to them, that's the most competitive game that we've seen an amateur team given an academy team throughout the play-in so far. I think that game 2, I mean, there were moments where it was a little bit scary for FlyQuest. That Trinivir was getting big in the side lane. Karth Assault, really tough to deal with. And, credit to Wildcard Aces. I know that we're saying goodbye, but I think they exceeded expectations just to make it here in the first place. I'm glad they can make game 2 competitive, and really excited to see where some of these individuals go moving forward.
Yeah, to start the day out, it was an uphill climb going into a team like FlyQuest, but I mean, Wildcard Aces, you're right to say that, this is the secondary Wildcard team. They absolutely did not perform that way. And game number 2, honestly, it felt like we were heading the direction for a game number 3, and they unfortunately
weren't able to. The most competitive
game
we've seen so far.
By far, absolutely. They did an incredible job, and that's another really good sign. Like I'm saying, with a lot of these new teams, if you're under a lot of pressure and you still consistently can play well and you can improve game after game, that's what we need from these teams. And so not the last that we're going to see from Wildcard Aces. Unfortunately, for here in the Proving Grounds, it is, because this is single elimination. And FlyQuest Academy just took them down in a 2-0 series, but so hard fought here for Wildcard Aces. Hopefully they are not sitting with their heads hung low. Chins up should be up high for these players, and I can't wait to see more from them. We are, of course, going to take a very quick break. When we come back, we're going to check in with Kangas, and we are going to set up series number 2 for the day, so don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with some more Proving Grounds.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back for our post-series interview with the winning top laner in FlyQuest Academy, Philip. First of all, congratulations on the quick 2-0 end to your day here. But this was, of course, the play-ins for Proving Grounds double elim. So this was a single elim best of 3. Did you have any nerves going into the games today, thinking, hey, one slip up and we're out of the tournament?
Not really. I think all of us are pretty confident. I mean, after that game 1, I think, yeah, we thought, or I thought game 2 was gonna be like pretty easy, but like he gave me a run for my money. So
He did. He definitely did. Now, you were late against Zamudo there. How'd you feel about his debut on the LCS stage here?
I mean, a bit hard to say because I think Trinimer is one of those champs where the skill, the individual skill of the player kind of the matchup will not be as different if you're a much better player. So yeah, but I think he showed good signs, especially for an amateur player. So I'm excited to see where he
Yeah,
would
you
go.
were just in his seat about just 1 year ago, actually. Now, you were speaking with Cubby before the series. You mentioned to him that even though you're coming in as 8th seed from Academy, you don't feel like FlyQuest Academy are actually the 8th seed, or at least 8th in terms of power level. How do you feel your performance today reinforced that?
I mean, I don't know how much I can speak on that after that second game, but yeah, I mean, I think overall our potential as a team, uh, I think we can definitely break through to the top academy teams right now. Like I think the teams right below C9 CLG who I'd consider like a step above the rest. I think anyone can beat each other, but I definitely think we can be on the higher end of those teams.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the based on your performance, I'm starting to buy into that as well. You are now going to be matching up against 100 Thieves next in your first round in the double elim 16 team bracket. So I want to give you a chance to chat a little bit about that. There's a lot of eyes on General Sniper coming into this tournament, another young player here who's got a lot of potential prospects in his future. Let's just put it mildly there. What do you feel about going up against him? And specifically, Philip, I want you to get dirty here. What message do you have for Sniper as you're getting ready for your next match?
I mean, I know it's gonna be a pleasure to play against him. I haven't played against him this year, but having played against him a lot in 2 years before this year, he read the way he plays his lane, especially on his best champs, right? Like Aurelia, Riven, who I'd consider to be like probably LCS level. Those 2 champs that he's on. Yeah, just the way he pressures his lane, plays his lane, is comparable to top academy top laners. And yeah, I mean it's gonna be a pleasure to play against him. And
Okay.
yeah, excited to play against him as he's gonna probably be someone in front of me for the next few years if I still play.
This could be the start of a rivalry, man. This could be it. But hey, that's high praise. When we look at the top laners in Academy, we got players like Dokla, Darshan, Viper up there, and yourself, of course, as well. So love to hear that. Final thoughts, Philip. I'll give you the podium. Any message you have for anybody out there watching?
I mean, thank you for all the fans for watching me. Thank you for watching me in that second game. I know I'm gonna have a hard time watching it game 2, but yeah, gonna be a fun PG to play.
You got the double kill under turret. It started off looking good. Congratulations, regardless, on the 2-0 day, Philip, and best of luck going into prepping for your next match.
Thank you.
And with that said, we're going to bring back on the casters here to get ready for our second match.